If they have some security that the value of their dollar, the dollars that they're earning will be worth the same a year from now, that gives them some sense of assuredness, of knowing what the future is. Wouldn't that be best? That is to stop Ben Bernanke from printing money?
Well, look, that's what all of us want. We want some security. We want to know what the next year is going to look like.
By the way, not all of us, Tammy. Forgive me for interrupting, but that's not true.
Yeah.
So the speculators want cheap money. They want Ben Bernanke to print more.
Regular people. The regular people trying to make a living day to day, we want to know what's going to happen. And, the truth is when the Fed decided to hold off on any, for the next 2 years on interest rates, they were saying we can't do anything now. And the reason they can't do anything and reject the notion of the Obama theory of regulating the world and regulating people's lives is that in order for things to work, people have to be left alone. They have to be left to be able to thrive with their own decisions. And really, the American system and the free market allows people to know that their work and the nature of the consumer and our own optimism for the future has always worked before. This overreaching and the involvement is the thing that's killed us, and I think that's what's making people nervous.
Peter?
Well, you know what we need? The problem with the country is rates are too low. That is the problem. We need higher interest rates. All this cheap money is fueling speculation on Wall Street. There is no money on Main Street. In order to get real capital to small business, we need to encourage savings. Only by having a real pool of savings do banks actually have any real purchasing power to loan out. So we need higher interest rates, but the more gasoline the Fed pours on this fire, the bigger it's going to get.
That's exactly what Richard Fisher was saying, by the way. Mark Madsen, is there any reasonable person out there that you know of that's saying that we need more cheap money, that the Fed should be printing more?
Not any reasonable person, and no, the Fed shouldn't be. Look, interest rates are already at an all-time low. Businesses won't borrow money because there's too much risk out there. They don't want higher taxes. They don't want more debt stimulus. They don't want all the stuff. And entrepreneurs who have to create the jobs are shut down. Even if the bank was giving away money for free, they're not going to take the money.
Amelia, you have to plan for the future, and you can't plan if you're not sure how much the money you have is going to be worth tomorrow.
No, absolutely, and you can't plan for the future when we keep getting this unforeseen thing. They keep jumping in our territory. Exactly what you're saying. You've got to get out of the way. Let it stabilize. Once it stabilizes, we can plan to move forward. But as you keep messing with the problem, you're stopping the economy from doing what it's going to naturally do.
Okay, Tammy, you got to do it in 10 seconds, quickly.
Obamacare, that is the thing small business also doesn't know what it's really going to turn into. That's got to be ended in order to lift up some of this uncertainty.
Guys, thank you very much for that. Peter, great to see you. Peter Schiff, Mark Madsen, and we'll see more of our panel coming up. Is Irene a threat to New York and New York markets? Lee, I want to go to you first.
I think Irene is. Any negative headline is a potential threat. We've had the poor economic indicators, and we had the debt ceiling debate, then the downgrade. One more thing that happens is going to just make things potentially
But Tammy, once again, it's been about 3 years now that we've had these horrific forecasts, I think partially induced by the fear about global warming and Al Gore, and they haven't turned out to be true. We've had some pretty mild hurricane seasons.
Well, the problem is that nature is always going to deal something to us. I mean, we got lucky with that earthquake. I mean, it's a miracle that something major really didn't more happen. So, but what we all know is that we don't have our rainy day fund. I mean, we don't even have regular day funding. And so anything, you look like the winter you guys had there this last winter. I mean, anything is going to push not only a city over, but the individual lives of people.
Amelia?
I think it reinforces how everyday consumers are feeling. Yet again, here comes something else that we're not prepared for. It's going to strain our budgets.
Scary. There's no way we can plan. All right, a new survey finding a growing number of medium-sized to large companies are thinking about dropping health care coverage come 2014 when the full force of Obamacare goes into effect. So will the government attempt to amend Obamacare to deal with the problem, or they're just going to go ahead and find the dropout companies? Amelia, you've been studying this inside and out.
Right, and this goes back to what I'm saying. You're going to push us, and we're going to push back. Remember, our budgets are already in. They're already in for this year, and they're already in for next year. We don't have it in our margins to have double digits on this healthcare stuff, and we're not going to do it. So the penalty is cheaper than Obamacare, and if we're going to try to do our forecasts, no matter what you're going to tell me we're going to do, what I'm going to do more than anything else is I'm going to survive, and that means I'm going to have to dance around something and not offer it to my employees, and that's what I'm going to do.
I think we will see some kind of amendment because they back themselves in a corner with 20% of companies saying they're unsure what they're going to do. The lobby is going to be strong, and they're going to put pressure on the administration.
And it's not, Tammy, it's not only the companies. There are no health care exchanges. Those employees that are not covered by the employers, the ones who get fined, they're going to be passed over to exchanges that don't exist right now. And states like New York are trying to figure out how much they're going to cost. Remember, this was supposed to be free health care.
Yeah, well, that's it. If there's going to be an amendment, the Obama administration is going to use this to create a dynamic that is that public option, are those exchanges. This is what they think is going to happen. But they're not going to have time to do that because there's going to be an election next year.
It is party time in Libya, folks. The White House says efforts are underway to free up Gaddafi assets. Now, the administration claims it's all for humanitarian system and to support the rebels. I'm sure they're sincere in that, but isn't all this money, millions and millions, probably billions when you count it all, just going to get lost in the chaos over there, Lee?
How do you free up, what is it, $1.5 billion? How do you even go about doing that?
Well, and to be very cynical, Tammy, remember the spoils of war? Is that kind of an old-fashioned expression? Maybe it doesn't apply here anymore. I don't know.
Well, maybe it doesn't. You know, one of the things they took out of the compound, the rebels, was all of Gaddafi's bling. We saw them on with necklaces on the TV and some rings. So, I mean, they're clearly looking for some bling and some money, and I think we're going to apparently be helping them along.
That's right. We're just giving them more bling, Amelia.
No, exactly.
Bling.
We can't keep track of the money here, let alone miles and miles away at this point. I have completely no faith at all.
It's like foreign assistance in general. You
Right.
want to cut money, that's where you start. Thanks, gang. Come president, just like everybody else in the country. Pataki, who is a moderate Republican, who is pro-choice, pro-union, pro-gay rights. Pataki for president, buy, sell, or hold. What do you say, Amelia?
I'm not a fan.
One buy. Sell. You put the wrong one up.
No.
Sell.
He's already alienated the conservative base, so.
Sell. What do you think,
we
Tammy?
already have one of those in the White House.
Okay, sell, and I got to be hold. I got to be neutral on these things, just because that's what we have to do here. Sorry, folks. And Scoreboard itself has to be on hold. So, should you be allowed to drive 200 miles an hour for a living without a driver's license? NASCAR driver Kyle Busch was clocked driving 128 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he was fined $1,000, placed on a year's probation, and actually had his license suspended for 45 days. But get this, according to rules of NASCAR, driver's licenses are not required to participate in races, so he will be allowed to compete this weekend on the track. NASCAR's rules. What do you think about that? Is that a buy?
I'm for
Really?
it. I am, because you know what? It's private property. It's not like the police officer can come out there and arrest him.
That's true. It is private
Got a
property.
right to work. It's a different setting. There's not an old man or woman crossing the street.
I like this libertarian crowd. Tammy, what are you, a buy, sell, or hold on these NASCAR
You know,
rules?
I say this is one of my rare holds. Look, he should be banned from a couple of races because there's just the moral turpitude aspect of putting people in danger on those roads. And, you know, what they do is their business, but he needs to be penalized for this.
Yeah, but you know what? I do like the fact that there's some areas in which the government can't intrude, and NASCAR maybe is one of them. Maybe we can do a whole lot of things on a NASCAR track. I don't know. It's a buy according to Scoreboard as well. Nick Swisher is a hero to Yankee fans, but his new wife, actress Joanna Garcia, may not think so. The couple married last December and have still not taken a honeymoon, but the outfielder plans to change that. He's agreeing to honeymoon in, of all places, Afghanistan, to visit our troops. Swisher agreed to the trip before asking Garcia, but says the actress is now on board. So visiting the troops as a honeymoon, buy, sell, or hold. What do you think, Amelia?
I like it.
I do,
I
too.
actually like it. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
I say stand by your man, stand by the truth.
Tammy, what do you think? Buy, sell, or hold on this honeymoon?
It is a total buy. Look, she knew who she was marrying. It sounds like it's going to be a great relationship. She'll get a good honeymoon soon.
You know, and it's it's going to be one that you remember. I know usually we remember honeymoons for the wrong things, and it's a buy. All right. Gold. Here we are. Very simple. Gold. Buy, sell, or hold.
I'm about buying gold.
Even
Yes.
at okay. What do you think?
I'm gonna hold on this one.
You're going to put a hold on that. Tammy, you're buying gold now on the dip?
Buy. Barack Obama's not changing. It's going to go up more, but buying not as an investment, but as a hedge. Still a buy.
I think it eventually will go up more, but I think hopefully, and I'm praying that the Fed is forced to sit on their hands by the people out there who don't want any more debasing of the currency. And there's still time for you to vote. 369-249. Results are coming up tomorrow, and on deck with his